Welcome to the Best Life Ever Team podcast. I am your host, Prince Raphael Shawan. Tweet is PRS for short, and this is not your ordinary podcast. How do we cure ourselves from depression? Depression is a real thing. I know it firsthand because I've experienced deep depression over many different segments of my life. And I can remember when I was a kid, I thought I knew what depression was because I used to be sad when different things would take place, like being on punishment for long periods of time or anything like that. But in 1997 to 2007, I experienced my first bout of deep depression. And it was because my sister passed away in 1997. And that literally was the toughest and the hardest thing that I had ever endured in my life. And I was depressed for a real 10 years over my sister not being in my life anymore. I was very sad every time I thought about her. And then one day I just snapped out of it because I had the thought that, what if my sister had something to say about how I felt and the depression that I was experiencing in her name? I mean, my sister and I had some amazing times. She was like a second mom to me at times. I love her so much and I still appreciate her. But I got this thought in my soul, and it felt like she was saying to me, she felt that she deserved better than me feeling sad about her every time I thought of her. And the only energy I would give her now is sadness and feeling really bad. And the reason why I felt bad is because I was selfishly wanting her to be in my life physically still and to be around and to be able to call her and have conversations and different things like that. And I needed to just be grateful for the time that I got to spend with her. And also I needed to celebrate her life. We had so many instances where we got to have a lot of fun. So now, instead of thinking of my sister and getting sad and feeling depressed, I think of all the amazing moments that we spent together and I celebrate her. So I put her name in lights and I exalt her in my thoughts. I put her on a pedestal where she belongs, you know. I love her. She was a great part of my life. I appreciate her. So I do what I can to make sure I celebrate her and keep her light alive and not just accentuate her death, which only happens in a moment. Death is in a moment. It happens so fast. But you get so many other moments to remember, and you should really focus on those. So from 1997 to 2007, I experienced what I would call mild depression. But from 2008 to about 2015, I would say that I experienced bouts of deep depression where I was dealing with things from my childhood that I hadn't healed. I was dealing with relationship trauma and issues that I had in my relationships. I was going through a divorce. I had a lot of things on my plate, but I was also down on myself because I felt like I wanted to call myself to do better and be better. But the depression was real. And what I feel depression is, I feel like depression is a state of awareness that is so focused on lower frequency energy or lower vibrational energy, meaning sadness, things that make you feel sad or hurt or guilty or stressed. And I was doing it so much to where it felt like it had a mind of its own and I couldn't control it anymore. And that's what I feel depression is. I feel like it's sad thoughts on autopilot. And no matter what, you feel like you can't control these thoughts. But what I learned the antidote for depression is, and I would say I broke up with depression in 2020. When 2020 happened and I realized that we have no real control over anything but our thoughts and how we feel about life itself, I realized that I needed to take a step back and stop trying to control everything, because the most depressed I've ever felt was when I felt like things weren't going the way that I thought they should go. And so I had to break up with those thoughts and break up with the fact that I felt that I needed to control how things were going and just appreciate how things are going, but practice expecting things to be awesome, expecting them to be great, expecting things to go in my favor, expecting things to add to my happiness, but also just be grateful for whatever is in my life. Like, I woke up, I'm breathing. I have food to eat. I have a vehicle. I have a place to live. I have a loving wife. I have beautiful children that I have a great relationship with. I have a career. I'm my own boss. I've been my own boss since I was 17 years old. And these are all things that I have in my life that I can always be thankful and grateful for. So the way that you counter and cure yourself from depression is to focus on things that add to your happiness. You have to focus on the things that light you up. You have to focus on the things that you do have. You have to focus on the things that are right in your current awareness, meaning the things that you can focus on right now, right here in your life. Are you alive? Are you breathing? Can you hear, see, think, feel, touch? Do you have love for yourself? Do you have a place to live? Do you have a vehicle? Even if you don't have these things, you have breath in your body, which is the greatest gift for all of us that I think most of us take for granted way too much. Breathing is, we do it so easily that we forget how much of a gift it is. We forget how much of a blessing it is and a miracle it is to be able to be here in this life and breathing. So even if you don't have any of the other things that you feel you want right now, you have breath in your body. And if you can understand what I'm saying, you have clarity and you're sane enough to understand what's going on. Those are major blessings. And those are things that every single person can use to feel better and to guide themselves to better feeling thoughts. Another thing you can do is laugh, watch comedies, look at babies online. If you have a baby, if you know someone with a baby, but surround yourself with that new, fresh, good energy of love and happiness. Babies they live in gratitude. Everything to them is beautiful and new. So that's another thing you can do. Also, another way out of depression is to help someone else who's going through something else. For a bit of time, you'll forget what you're going through if you're helping someone else with a whole heart. You help them not because they can do something for you or because they'll owe you back, but you help them because you can. You help them because you're in a position and you can help them, and it will immediately help you to feel better. And you have to keep in mind that feeling depressed is due to the thoughts that you've been practicing. So the thoughts that you're giving your most of your attention to are thoughts that add to your sadness. You have to switch your focus to thinking thoughts that add to your happiness. And first, you should write down some things that you're thankful for. Write down some things that, that you're grateful for. Write down some of your accomplishments so you can celebrate those things as well. And we all have something that we can celebrate that we've done in our lives that we're happy about, that we're thankful that we've done. And we know it's an achievement or an accomplishment to us. So we definitely have to take time to focus on those things. And then you also have to make sure you're spending your time on countering these negative thoughts with positive energy as much as possible. So don't listen to gossip. Don't gossip about other people. Don't watch negative movies. Don't listen to negative music. Don't have negative conversations with people. Don't tell people over and over about what you're going through. Focus your energy on positive things, things that make you laugh, things that make you feel good, things that light you up. Because depression is something that happens over time. People don't just wake up and just become depressed in a snap of a finger. It takes time sometimes for depression to set in. Sadness is different. Sadness is something that happens and then you can come out of being sad. But depression feels like it's something you have no control over. But you actually do. You have control over your mind. You have control over your thoughts. You have control over your words. You have control over your time. So you can spend your time on things that make you feel better. Pray, meditate, write things down, focus on laughing, surround yourself with people that add to your happiness. And if you have no one in your life that will add to your happiness, spend time with yourself. Spend time if you like comedies or whatever you love to do, you love to go to the beach, you love to play basketball, skateboard, draw, paint, do art, write books, read, whatever you love to do these things, because the more you do what you love and you feel good, the less you'll feel depressed. It's impossible to feel good and depressed at the same time. It's impossible to feel gratitude and feel depression at the same time. So you have to focus on what you're grateful for, and you have to focus on what makes you feel good and feel happy. And these things will save you from depression. These are the tools that I've used. These are the tools that I continue to use, and I keep my focus on things that make me feel good every single day. That's the only job that I feel we all have in common in this life, is to find things that we enjoy every day. And when we don't feel good. And the more we do what we don't like, the more the momentum of that feeling grows and it gets stronger and stronger. And that's how we can get to the title of depression. But just like you can think your way into depression, you can think your way into happiness. I hope this helps you. I wish you the absolute best life ever. I believe in you, and I know you will get through this. Best life. Peace.